Did something last night which makes me think that I might actually be killing it as an adult. This is what I did. I've got a bread maker. There it is. And I've just discovered it's got a timer. I put everything on last night and I woke up to the smell of baking bread. I am winning. I'm so clever. Anyway, I have a couple of personal appointments this morning and then I have to come back and finish a video on pressure washing. I'm basically trying to cover in this video all of the home maintenance and DIY jobs that you can do with a pressure washer that people might not have thought of. But I'm still really stuck on my opening shot because you want to have a really good and really compelling opening shot, and I haven't worked out what that's going to be yet, so that will be my challenge for later today. Oh my goodness. I'm terrible at finishing projects, and I know that because I spent the entire journey walking into town thinking about what I need to do in my basement. The second I got into town, I saw this. And so now I'm like, oh, I could sell my house and do up a church. No, not allowed. Got to finish the basement. It's cute though, isn't it? I want to show you something that I've been working on today. So I've just spent the last 3 hours with my web developer redeveloping my website, and I want to show you what the changes are. I keep forgetting to look at the camera and not my face, so that's why I look like I'm like... So here we have the new homepage, making DIY for everyone, which is basically the mission of DIY with Emma. Let's scroll down. I've got this little section which is just about what DIY with Emma does. This is kind of a little bit of a work in progress. I don't think I'm quite happy with this bio yet, but I'm working on it. Some of the latest stuff, the latest press news that DIY with Emma is in, my latest TikTok, my latest podcast. So that'll be updated eventually when I do my own podcast to the latest episode of my podcast, or our podcast, because I am doing it with Jasmine. So I'll tell you more about that at another time. Anyway, there's my latest YouTube video. Some of my previous clients are here. Hello. And this is my team. I mean, this is true because I really do most things. I'm the general dog's body, innovation manager, content developer. I need to resize those photos, so need a bit of work. But I thought this would be a little bit of fun because I, have all these different characters that I dress up as, and I do feel like I'm putting on lots of hats. Some testimonials from people I've worked with, and of course the subscribe button. So I've actually had a few people sign up through here already, and this will be just to get newsletters when I have time to do those, and also I'll be sending out information about my women's wear workwear brand when I launch that. So that's the home page, and I also had the about page updated. So this will just cover a little bit more of the history. Promise that you won't go and look at it right this second because it still has the old text in there. So a little bit of work for me to do here, but just wanted to give you a little bit of the background and what I'm about. So I actually thought I'd re-record the voiceover in this part of the video because it was just really boring. But what I was going to say is there's other parts of my website. There's how-tos, which is basically how-to articles. This isn't very well populated at the moment. I haven't done too many. And there's also a blog area. I talked to you about my creative writing. I love doing creative writing. I love writing stories. And that's what I do once a week in a writing club. Just sit and use that time to write. So if you want to see some of the stuff that I've previously written, here it is. But probably the most exciting thing that we actually managed to get done today was I listed my first product. I managed to find these do-it-yourself beeswax wrap kits. Whenever I've published my videos on how to DIY your own beeswax wraps, they've always been super popular. And the first thing people say is, well, where can I get the stuff? And so I found these kits. I think they are super, super fun. It's listed and it's available for purchase. The only thing I do need to go and do is just make some better pictures. These are kind of holding pictures. No one's going to be inspired to buy this with these pictures. And the description of what you're getting just says, you're going to love this. And no one's going to buy it. They don't know what's in it. So this is still a little bit of a work in progress, but it is actually live and it's ready to buy. So I tested this out earlier and it all works, so I was able to buy one for myself, and I've connected that through to my Pinterest, so people will soon be able to buy it through Pinterest. But that's what I've been working on. So we've just sat together for 3 really intense hours doing all of these updates. I'm totally exhausted, and it's dinner time. I haven't even had any lunch. Well, that's not true. I did actually have a slice of toast of my bread that I made this morning. Yeah, left my appointments this morning, went straight to a cafe to catch up on loads of emails from different clients that I'm working with, getting feedback on videos. There's something that I'm actually publishing this week, which will be a video, sort of like a health and safety related video. I've made it sound really boring, but it's actually quite interesting. I think you'll enjoy it. So I'll be publishing that this week. And then I came straight back to do this web development work, and it's now almost 6 o'clock and I've not had any proper food all day. So I'm going to go and do that now before going out later for a creative writing class. The bread was good though, look at that. I just realised I did actually have one of the kits here on the desk next to me, so I thought I'd open it and show you. It comes with these pre-cut pieces of cotton, this piece of beeswax to melt, which also has inside of it, what's it called? I forget what it's called right now, but there's a certain type of oil that you can include, which helps the fabric be all crinkly when it's melted. I didn't explain that very well, but there's also this brush that comes with it, so you can bloop. And of course some parchment paper to make this as least messy as possible. I do have a video on this that I will connect it to, but there's also some instructions that come, and this is the company that I've purchased it from. That's what it's called. Jojoba oil, or jojo, I don't know how it's pronounced, and pine resin, which help with the crinkly thing that I mentioned. It means that it basically sticks to each other a bit better than just the beeswax by itself, although you can do it with just the beeswax. I spent the last hour and a half editing the video that I'm producing for a brand about pressure washing, and the same process happens for me every single time I make a promotional or sponsored video. I'll go out and I'll film loads of stuff and I'll really get intimate with whatever it is that I'm filming about, if that's a product or maybe it's a service, because that's how I can speak about it honestly, is to be able to actually use it. And so quite often companies might say, do you sort of have an idea about what you might like to do for the video? And I'm usually like, well, not really, because I have to test it out first and the idea will kind of come to me. Like, I don't know how, like magic? I don't know. But it does really happen like that. It is kind of like magic. And I'll be looking through all the footage that I've taken and I'll be like, what was important about my experience using this? What felt important to share? Because when I'm learning how to use it, everyone else is going to have that experience as well, and they're going to be coming up with the same sort of questions. So I might start out with an hour, 2 hours worth of content that I have to whittle down into 60 seconds. And it's not just a case of whittling it down. It has to be the best 60 seconds of your life, the most interesting video you've ever seen. And then the first part of this process happens where I'm trying to whittle it down and it just isn't working. And I go through this internal process of, this is the worst video I've ever made. Everyone's going to hate this video. I've really let this brand down. I haven't been able to explain very well what I enjoy about this product. I'm so bad at my job. Might have a little cry. Don't know, might not. And then the important part of the process is the big cut. So I'll basically copy and paste this video so I've protected the progress I've made so far. And I will just ruthlessly cut out the bits that I don't think add any value. And that might be voiceover, that might be footage, and that always helps. It always helps because it cuts out all the stuff that is kind of interesting, but it's not like the most interesting part of the video. And then eventually I'll get to something that's 60 seconds, and this will be the third part where I'm like, oh my goodness, this is the best video I've ever made. I'm so smart. The brand is gonna love this. So good at my job. I might have a little dance, I might not. And then there's the last two parts of the process, where I send the video to the brand to see if they like it, which is obviously terrifying. And more often than not, they'll come back and say, we absolutely love it. Could you make these minor tweaks to how this was filmed or to the voiceover? And it's great, and there's nothing to worry about. And then there's the final part where I upload it to one of my social media channels and I sit there like this. And I wonder, do they like it? Do they not like it? Is this going to work? Is this going to land? Will they understand it? Was I clear? Oh, and then people find it helpful and I just melt into my chair because I'm so glad. So that's the emotional turmoil that I've had over the last hour and a half that I always go through when I'm making a video for a client. Now I get to go in the hot tub. I've eaten half a loaf of bread.